Get started. All right, we are recorded. We're live. Hey guys, happy April. Happy post-cruise if you are still adjusting from all the fun. I know there are lots of you guys who were on the cruise last week. I'm still kind of getting back to routine here and settling into things, but it is April 1st. We are at a brand new month. We're at a brand new week, and we are kicking it off with Ashley in just a few minutes, and I am super excited for you guys to hear from her and her incredible year she had last year and just hear her story because it is pretty amazing. Few quick things. I'm not going to take up too much. Lots of stuff came out with April. One that I'm really trying to go back on is Transform 20, guys, is VOD library. So if you were doing it, if you recruited for it back in December and then you kind of got back into your routine of what you're doing, go back to the people who considered joining you then and follow up with them because it's now in VOD. So it's a great way to maybe, do a completion pack. Or just offer out Shakeology Performance Line because now they have access, if they already had VOD, to Transform 20. So make sure you guys are aware. I don't think anybody can miss the fact that 21 Day Fix Live is now streaming starting today at noon. Few things to think about with that. I personally am going to push myself back a week, and I'm going to start it next week. I think because I started with 21 Day Fix, in my total body cardio is every Monday, and upper fix is Tuesday, and low. And I have that routine down. And because I was one to do a morning workout, I can't wait till noon to work out, and I don't want to be off. So I'm choosing to be off an entire week. And then that also gives me the opportunity to run 21 Day back with Fix Extreme. So however you want to do it, doesn't matter. I kind of that second route, which also gives me an opportunity to recruit people in this first week of April as a follow-up mechanism because I was gone last week. So I know I do have stuff to kind of catch up on. So by personally starting next Monday, I'm using that as a way to follow up with people to let them know this started. All the information is there. All the videos from autumn, like all your Ultimate Portion Fix videos are ready for you. But I'm going to start my workouts Monday on the 8th. If you want to do it with me and go along with my progress, that option's there. So my goal this week by using that tactic, we'll keep you posted on how that goes. And then the summit information they started releasing, there's always parties every year. Obviously, last week's Success Club trip was huge. Summit is just as much, if not more, important for you guys to get to. Open to everybody. You don't have to qualify for it. This is the last summit ticket sale price. It's $175, I want to say through the 7th. And then it'll just go up to the $295 price at the door. So if you have not got a summit ticket, huge opportunity. You can check out the FAQs for the different parties that you can qualify between now and the launch of Summit. I think those were my main things that I want to share with you guys. And then I'm going to quickly say thank you to Jennifer Morphew. She is the one who initially reached out to Ashley. Get her on our team call, and I know you guys are going to love to hear from her. So Ash, over to you. If you need to share your screen or anything, just go ahead, and I can't.
Awesome. Oh my gosh, I'm not petrified at all. Jennifer failed to mention how many people were going to be on this call and who was going to be on this call. It's fine. It's fine. Grow up. It's fine. Okay. So I'm excited to share with you guys about what shifted for me because I think unfortunately a lot of coaches can relate to where I was a couple of years ago. So I'm going to back up a little bit. I've been a coach for almost 4 years, but 2 years ago in September of 2017, I was falling apart. I had gone to Summit twice and I was rank advancing, but it was by the skin of my teeth. And I was still only hitting Success Club 6. And it was the last day of the month. And sometimes it was because I was calling my grandpa, asking him to buy something. And it just, I didn't have builders. I didn't have club. I had no elite points. There was just, nothing was happening. And I felt stuck. Everything was very stressful. If you have ever hit Success Club on the last day of the month, you know that is just not fun. Nothing fun about hitting Success Club on the last day of the month. And I was super, super burned out. And I am now hit elite last year for the first time. I average anywhere between Success Club 30 and Success Club 50. Finished in the top 100 this year, and am leading a team that I am insanely proud to lead. Have a lot more builders than I did in 2017. I want to talk about like what the heck happened, how I went so stuck and no builders and SC6 on the last day of the month because I'm calling my grandpa, to SC50, earning the Transform 20 and the Morning Meltdown 100 groups, and like and hitting elite. Like, what the heck happened? Okay, so I went to a retreat, and how many of you know Josh Coates? A lot of, yeah. Okay, we got some Josh fans in the house. Okay, so I'm in Micah Folsom's downline. Micah doesn't typically open up her retreats to her whole downline, but she opened that one to her whole downline. Anyone who rank advanced one past their lifetime, and technically a 2-star. I felt like the fakest 2-star in the world because my sister built herself to diamond, had a bigger team than me, and whatever, and then I was a diamond, and I was controlling both of his emeralds. And only builders I had anywhere in my whole downline. Like, it was so sketchy. House of discount, like, it was so sketch. But I earned this retreat that Micah hosted, and she flew Josh out, and Coach changed my freaking life. I had him before, but he just said a lot of things that really clicked. So broke it down into like 5 bullet points because I am all about like making your guys' time worth it. I want you to hear like actionable things that you can like, okay, that is something I could do. Okay. So number 1, I found my why again. I feel like this gets like banged to death, and I want to hit elite because I want to walk on stage and I want to see my name at Summit, and I want, whatever, all the things. I want bonus, I want whatever. And then I couldn't figure out why I couldn't get there. And right before this retreat, it was 2 days beforehand, I failed to mention this, I was 5 days away from giving birth. I was like 9.5 months so pregnant, going to this retreat. And the only reason my husband let me go is because technically the retreat house was closer to the hospital than my house is. And so he was like, you can go because if you go into labor, they can take you to the hospital. He was working out of town in another state and had been for 2 summers in a row. It was terrible. It was killing our marriage, and it was killing my little girl. Like, she missed dad. Everything was just terrible. And he and I were talking about the retreat. I didn't want to go, and it was our last weekend as a because I knew I was about to be induced and whatever. And he really wanted me to go. And I got myself so stressed out that I thought I was going into labor. And I was like having a panic attack because I called my midwife, and she was like, you need to go in. It sounds like, and so I call him, and he's like 8 hours away. Then I'm like, you got to get in the car. Like, they want me to go to the hospital. You got to come home. And he was like, I'm sorry, I can't. They won't let me come home. And I was like, what? And he was like, well, they know you're getting induced next week. They know that, like, I can't leave. We're not done with the road. The road is like a day away from being done. I'm off tomorrow. I cannot come home. And I was like, I don't think you understand. Like, my mom is on the way to come get me. Tiffany is coming to get our oldest. Like, I'm going to the hospital. And he was like, I'm sorry, Ash, there's nothing I can do. And that moment, like, I remember it so vividly that everything in my head was like, I am so freaking done. Like, I am done. I am done. I don't know what I'm doing wrong with Beachbody. I've been doing it for 2.5 years. I don't know what I'm doing wrong, but I'm gonna figure it out. I am done with this life. I am done having someone else tell me when I get to see my husband. I am done when my husband gets to see his kids. And now I have someone telling me that my husband's gonna miss the birth of a child. Like, I am so freaking done. And he was totally kidding. In the car, and he was almost home, and he was trying to surprise me. And because I started like sobbing and hyperventilating. And so he was like, it's going to get worse. But that lie, like, everything changed in that moment. I had the shift, and I ended up not having her. I was fine. So about to go to the retreat knowing I'm going to bring him home. I don't know how. And I think that's important. That I'm reading You Are a Badass at Making Money from Jen Sincero right now. And she was joking about this, that part of having faith is not knowing how something's going to happen. I had no idea how I was going to bring him home. I knew I needed to make about $5,000 a month is what I wanted to be home and get him another job that would be a significant pay cut, because that would comfortably be the transition, because he was making so much money with overtime and everything. And I was making like barely $1,000 as a 2-star. And so I had no clue how I was going to jump from 1 to 5, but I knew I needed to do it. And my thoughts were tuned to how am I going to make 5,000? How can I do this? How am I going to make, and in my head, I wasn't going to have any volume. Volume wasn't going to be anything because I didn't have a team. No one did squat. I will just sell my way there. I don't know how I'm going to sell my way there because I'm barely hitting successful 6, but I'm going to figure this out. And it lit her. So when I sat down to work, I had a reason to work. I had a reason to do my power hour every day. I had a reason to do invites when I didn't want to. I had a reason to do connections when I didn't want to. I didn't want to. I had a reason to do PD when I didn't want to. I had a reason to do everything I didn't want to because I knew what I was fighting for. And I had some serious urgency that I needed to get him home like now, because I couldn't do this anymore. Okay. And then we brought him home a lot faster than I was going to be able to. And I got stuck. And I realized, well, it's because I don't have a why. So then we found another one, the elite call in Disneyland. I have no freaking clue how, because I don't have any builders. I don't have any points. I don't have any, I'm going to do this. But I want to get the elite call in Disneyland with my rose gold Disney ears and the castle behind me and the smell of churros and that like magical feeling. And the day of the elite call was my daughter's birthday. And we'll take my family to Disneyland with a week's paycheck, and they called to tell me I'm elite. And I woke up every day and I fought tooth and nail. I had people quit. I had people say no. I had haters. I had whatever. And it did not derail me because I knew why I was doing this. And it wasn't for the elite call. It was the Disneyland elite part of it. Elite stopped being the main. I want to be everything. I want to work my butt off so that I can make memories with my family. I want to work my butt off when kids see their dad. I want to work my butt off so that I am leading a team that's going somewhere. And everything started lining up because my why lined up with my priorities, and it made everything in the business click. My why lined up with everything. Okay. Number 1, find your why. Something that if your why, I'm going to be a little mean for a second. If your why is that you want to motivate and inspire people, I don't think that's good enough. Because congratulations, if you posted today, you accomplished your why. You need something that makes you push, something that will get you out of your comfort zone and inspiring people. If you posted your workout video, there's someone out there somewhere who is way too afraid to post workout videos. And if you did it, you inspired someone today. So congratulations, you accomplished. When you hit the why, you got to find a new one. And even after Disneyland, I got stuck again and we had to find another one. Right now we're getting ready to do it, and we're doing it next week when the bonus comes. And then right after that, I got to find another. And that, like, you have to have a why. You have to keep that carrot dangling in front of you that you have a reason. Okay. Number 1. Number 2, I found some limiting beliefs. I had no clue that I had limiting beliefs. And then Josh like ripped the Band-Aids off. I had like 8,000 of them. So limiting beliefs. The way that Josh helped find mine is he said, I want you to tell me what your life looks like 10 years from now. Okay. I want you to tell me the house you drive, the house you live in, the car you drive, the clothes you wear, what time do you wake up? What does your bedroom look like? What does the view out your bedroom window look like? What does your routine look like? How many animals do you have? Where do you work? Where does your spouse work? Where do your kids go to school? What kind of clothes do you wear? What kind of purse do you carry? What kind of, like, all the things. What is your body? What is your, like, all the things, okay? All the things 10 years from now. And then, which I think everybody's visualized that to some degree, because, like, vision boards, he said, the kicker. Now tell me, there are coaches who are achieving these things. Micah is achieving these things. You know, all the top 10 coaches, there are people achieving these things. Why can't you achieve those things. And oh my gosh, Josh, do you have 4 hours? Because my brain, like, I call her my mean girl. All the things came out. Well, I'm not good enough with social media. I don't have a big enough following. I'm not skinny enough. I'm not pretty enough. I don't have a good enough transformation. I'm too busy. I have kids. I don't have time. I don't have a supportive husband. I don't, da, 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 da. All the things came out. And then Josh wanted us to go around the and say one of them and help us talk through it. And I'm like, I just had like 19 come out. I have no freaking clue how I'm going to work through these to find one, but okay, whatever. So the first person goes and she's like, Josh, I'm not a good enough leader. I can't have the things I want because I'm not a good enough leader. And I was like, ooh, that was one of the things my mean girl said. I'm going to listen to what he says. And because in my head, like, thank you. I left the door open. So I'm not a good enough leader. Not a good enough leader. There's no way. Like, I tell my girls to do things and they do the total opposite. I tell them to hit Success Club and they can't find someone like 8 months down the road. They still can't find anyone. Like, I just must be a terrible leader because my people up and something just must be wrong with me. And so Josh was like, okay, tell me about when you post coaching. Do you say, oh my gosh, I'm so excited to come join my team. And when you join my team, I'm going to come over to your house every day and I'm going to sit behind you like on Ghost. And I'm going to put my hands on top of your hands and I'm going to type on a computer with you. And then we're going to do a power hour together. I'm going to help you do it right alongside you. And then I'm going to come over to your house with a printed notebook of all your power hours perfectly aligned. And I'm going to babysit your kids. So you have no distractions that you can do this and make this work in your life. No, you didn't tell you that's what you would do. Well, okay. So people telling you that they don't have time, that they don't understand what to do, that you're not helping them enough. I'm projecting their crap all over you. You told people when you said, you should come join my team, have resources. We have tools. I will be your biggest fan and I will do everything I can to empower you to see success. Our job as coaches is to inspire and empower. It is not to drag. It is not to force. It is not to do any of those things. And that was like oh my gosh, she's right. I never told someone that I sit their kids so they could do a power hour and them telling me their kids are too crazy and at summertime, like, that's their fault, not mine. I never said that I would help them with it. Like, I do it with kids. I figure it out. If they want, they'll figure it out too. And when you find limiting beliefs, so number one, you find them by, you figure out what you want and then why can't I have it? And then if you're anything like me, brain like makes like a big. So when you find the thing, I'm not a good enough leader. Okay, well, what is a leader? A leader, let's see if hold on. There at the top 10 wall last, yep, right there. Bonnie Engel was in the top 10 last year, and at corporate, she had the top 10 gets put a quote up, and hers said, a leader is simply someone who runs fast enough to be ahead of their people. Leadership is not title or rank. It's being the example of what's possible. And that was like, yes, like, it is my job to possible. If they choose to, and to be ahead of them, it's my job to be ahead of them. I'm supposed to be ahead of them. They're not supposed to run as fast as me. Otherwise, I'm not the. So me telling myself I'm not a good enough leader, no one's keeping up with me. Well, duh. A leader just sets the pace. A leader just shows what's possible. And it's not a rank. It's showing what's possible. And that's all I need to do. Empower and show what's possible. I am a good leader. So then you walk logically until you can get to the point that, like, logically that does. And then make an affirmation about it. Affirmations do not have to be fancy. If you are not good at them yet, I have found that. So the more, just like anything in life, the more you practice affirmations and read on them and things like that, the more you will find the flow that works for you. But the things I've discovered about affirmations, you do not lie to yourself. You do not. I am the #1 coach body. Unless your name is Ashley Molstad or Melanie Mitro, you cannot say that affirmation. But you can tell yourself that the reason I have that Bonnie Engel thing is because I turned it into an affirmation that says, I am an amazing leader because I equip and empower my team to work. A leader is simply someone who runs fast enough to be ahead of their people. Leadership is not a title or rank, it's being possible. And my actions show my team what is possible, which makes me an incredible. That is an affirmation, because that like makes your brain like, yes, I am a good leader because I am showing them what to do. I led the way. I had success club. I did my PD. I'm doing the workouts. I'm in our challenge group. I'm being a leader. I am paving the way. I'm showing them what I want. I am a good leader. That's an affirmation. And that's how you get rid of the people telling you you're a bad leader. When I'm like, so Josh was saying all this, and I'm like, holy crap, my brain is going to explode. Like, this was the first girl saying I'm not a good next girl was like, well, I just don't have time. And I'm like, oh my gosh, there's another one. And I literally, every single girl that went said something my brain had said, which means, number one, you're in the mean girl thing that your brain thinks. Everybody's brain thinks very similar mean girl things. And the more that you can get them out and lodge, like, not that you vent them on other people and not be that person, but the more that you can see, like, other people think too. Like, when I went to New Leaders last year, Melanie Mitchell talked about how she manages her time, like, blew my mind, because I was like, his husband didn't like how much time she's working the business. Oh my gosh, she had that struggle too. Like, people struggles in this business. So get on YouTube, find the things that you struggle with, but then talk it through and make an affirmation where you say the opposite. That's where I was going with that. So I just went off on a weird tangent. So you say the opposite of what your brain is telling you. So you can make them super basic, like, I am an incredible leader. It doesn't have to be like that's my longest I just read. It doesn't have to be that long. You can also use the word because. These are some of my favorite ones because bring action. So Josh gave me one that says, every time I get on the spot, I've been saying these for 18, you'd think I'd remember it, but I get on the spot and I get so like whatever that I can't remember. Okay, because I am confident and have positive energy, I find coaches who are also confident and have positive energy. That's to say when I started saying that, because I was like, well, positive or confident about my energy, and that's probably why I'm not attracting positive, confident people. I want coaches like that, but I am not that. And because of the way the affirmation is phrased, it's I attract positive, confident people. Well, no, I don't. That is a lie. That is not happening. And because it's phrased, because I am confident and have positive energy, I attract coaches who are also confident and have positive energy. It trained my brain to like, okay, well, if you want to find that, we better be that. So how are you going to be more positive and confident today? So it made my brain look for people who were like, oh, I feel on fire when I'm around Josh, or when I'm around Micah, or when I'm around my upline, or when I'm on someone's YouTube and I feel like crap, I talked to this person, so I'm going to lovingly push them out of my life. I felt on fire when I listened to, and if I only listen to this much, I don't feel that way. So I guess I better up it. And that all came because I told my brain, because I am confident and have positive, my brain started looking for ways to be more confident, positive energy. Last thing I'm going to say about being a leader, and then I'm going to move on, because I literally could talk about affirmations for like 6 hours. They are my jam. Let's do one more. I gotta find a good one. I am worthy of elite. I'm capable of elite, and I am achieving elite. That one hurt too, because I didn't realize I was telling myself that I wasn't worthy of elite. You don't have to put in elite. It can be diamond, it can be $1,000 a month, it can be $1,000 a week, it could be Million Club, it could be whatever you're pushing for that you're consciously telling you you're not worthy of. But I didn't brain, I'm not worthy of, and that I'm not. And it hurts to say, because my brain was like, you are not worthy or capable of elite freaking years, and you never figured it out. And I kept saying it. That's the other thing about affirmations. If they hurt to say, like, those are the ones you got to say more. And it got to the point that I was like, I am worthy of elite. I am capable of elite, and I am achieving elite. And my brain would look for proof. Damn straight you're achieving elite. You had a coach at Success Club today. That's 2 elite points. Damn straight you had a coach find their husband. That's 1 other point. You just hit Success Club 20. So that's count. category. You just bill your husband a diamond. You just whatever. My brain's discount coach. You have a coach who's emerald. You have a coach who's halfway to diamond. You like my brain started looking for like, look at all the things. Like we are achieving all the things because my brain was looking for them. If you tell your brain look for green, look for green, look for green, look for green, don't be pissed when your brain never sees pink. You're telling it, you like your brain right now telling you what to look for. And if you don't like what you're finding, that information is telling your brain what to look for. So it completely retrained my brain. I threw and found every single limiting belief I had. And it helped having Josh, the master of affirmations, right in front of me. And we were up till like 4 a.m. doing this exercise going around the room. But that night changed my freaking life because I came home with like 20 things to beat my mean girl down. And I constantly say them to tell myself how incredibly capable. And I feel like I sound like so cocky, but to a degree, that's what affirmations are, is when you become your best cheerleader. And when you forget what everybody else thinks, I know I'm capable. I know I'm like, dude, of course people are going to buy challenge packs from me. My groups are awesome. I want to be a part of my life. Like that's what affirmations do, is they make you like just this boundless, like, oh my gosh, I breathe fire. Like that's what affirmations are. Okay, that's number 2. I'm like sweating. I should not have worn a sweatshirt. Number 3, I put my blinders on. So like Mike is downline. I can tell by the faces I'm seeing this call, you guys have the same problem I did, that you're surrounded by super successful people. And it's really hard sometimes when you're surrounded by really successful people, because you see that you're like, well, I haven't signed a builder in like 8 months. And Micah just welcomed 92 to the team page after we did a sneak peek. What freak am I doing wrong? And how come hitting Success Club 40? And how come Melissa is ranked number 2? And how come so like your brain will see all the people who are doing all the things in you. And I had to hardcore put on my blinders. Every day, my goal was to be better than I was yesterday. What did I do yesterday that I could do a little bit today? Could I meal prep better? Could I do 1 more push-up on my toes? Can I go 2 more seconds on the jumping jacks before I start modify? Can I do I'm supposed to so that I'm following in my time nutrition and my energize doesn't fade? Do 2 more invites? Can I be more intentional with my invites and get them done 2 minutes faster? Can I clean out my inbox earlier in the day? Can I be more unplugged after my work got done so that I'm present and fulfilled as a and I started looking for things I could do, just little tweaks every single day to make me just a little bit better than yesterday. Wasn't any like, okay, how am I going to be better than I was a year ago? Yesterday, I'm just going to be a little bit better than yesterday. And then tomorrow I'm going to be so that I didn't try to do has anybody else ever done, hey, it's a new month, I'm going to be awesome, I'm going to send 7,500 invites, and holy crap, my inbox is exploding. And it was Nora for 4 days because I can't keep up, because I was too gung-ho, and now I can't even handle my inbox. Anybody else know before? So I didn't do anything crazy. I did not do anything like 55,000 invites. Just a little bit more. Just like 1 more. It wasn't even that I did 1 more invite. It was one of the 10 invites that I did was for the business builder, and the 9 were challenge groups. And that I paid a little bit more attention when I was adding to my network to get like quality. Did it in the same amount of time. Like I looked for ways that I could improve every single day, little tweaks. Okay, I'm going to ignore all the comments in just a second. I will go through and look at these in just a second because I will hardcore get distracted like what just happened. Okay, and along those lines, the blinders. I made a Google sheet. It's like, I promise, it's like a plain Google sheet that says 100 builders across the top. And the tally for a column for their name and the leg they're on and the date they signed up, so that I could keep track of if they were going to count for the +1 count. And I told myself, okay, well, I'm trying to hit elite with 3, and clearly it's not getting me anywhere. And they say that it's like 1 in 10 actually does crap. So if I want to end the year with a 10-star, I guess I need 100 builders. And so it changed my energy. I started posting about the business. I started inviting to the business. I started filling sneak peeks and following up and doing things differently because I was looking for 100 builders rather than being like, I posted about a sneak peek and 8 people requested. Awesome, I'm done. No, I'm looking for 100. I got going. I'm still not at 100. I think right now I'm only at like 40 something. And like, I'm still not there, but it changed frequency in the way that I talk about the way that I talk about it in my stories, how often I talk about it, the things that I talk about. I don't just talk about the income or the community or the accountability or the freedom or the trips. I talk about all of it because I'm looking for 100 different people and they are all people. Maybe they don't need the money, but they need the community. Maybe they could care less about the community like me when I started. I love the community now, but I didn't want the community. I wanted the freaking income. So I got to talk about somebody out there who needs the income. Maybe there's somebody who feels like they can't stick to anything on their journey, because hashtag that was me too, and that they wish they could be more consistent in their journey, and has, like, that's what we do. I should talk about that. And the more that I talked about it, the more I started finding builders, because I talked about it. I talked about it a lot, and I changed my energy that I was not looking for 3 or 4 that I could drag. I was looking for 100 people I could run with. And that completely changed. Okay. Number 3. Number 4, stepped up as a leader and became a major team player. I'm going to make this one so fast because number 5 is going to be really long and I want to leave time for questions. My coach, her name is Jaylyn Lovell. She's had 2 names as a coach. I think her last name right now as a coach is Lovell. She's a 10-star. She's a boss. I was in the hospital giving birth to my little, it was 5 days after the retreat. I am on fire. It was the day I officially was a 2-star. So Michael let me come to the retreat, even though I wasn't showing 2-star. So I woke up, the back office shows I'm a 2-star, and I'm driving to the hospital. I give birth to my little Emma, and I drank heat that day, and I posted a video, and people were like blowing up. Like my energy was just like through the roof with all the endorphins of a baby. Great. And we get breaking news, KSL, that's our news outlet here, that there was an officer-involved shooting, and that there were rumors that and at the same time, Jaylyn started messaging me that her husband had been hurt at work. And Jaylyn is one of my best friends. I did Beachbody, let alone because of Beachbody. And we used to live in the same neighborhood. Our husbands are best friends. My husband is very heavily involved in the police community. And he's okay, thankfully, but he, like, absolute guardian angel, because he died because of what happened. He was in the hospital, needed multiple surgeries. Everything was super sketchy. She hung down because he had been attacked. And so she was like, and, you know, I was like her top, which in my head, I'm like, I'm a 2-star, but I'm like fake AF. But she was like, I know you just had a baby. If you can't handle it, I can ask somebody else, but can you just over the message thread so I can just unplug? And I'm like, oh yeah, for sure. Like, I energize is a thing, and I'm off all the time with my baby anyway, and I might as well look at my phone. So I start running the threads. A week later, she goes in to have ultrasound. She was 12 weeks pregnant, and they found out that their baby had died and needed to go in for an emergency DNC, had to ambulance ride because her husband couldn't drive her because of all his painkillers and everything he's knocked up on. And hi, Kalani. I'm just kidding. And everything was super blood to death. And she shut down. I am freaking proud of her. She still hit Success Club 10. She did not walk away from her business, and she still ended elite. She ended number 51 in 2017. And this all happened in September. It happened on September 28th is when his accident happened. But she shut down, and she was like, I need your help. I need you to help me with the threads. And And I was like, oh, dude, done. I can do that. I can answer questions. Not that hard. And getting in the threads made me realize her coaches ask the same questions as mine. She just has more of them. And that helps I'm a bad leader thing, because I was like, I'm not a bad leader. Her girls ask the same questions as mine. She just has more of them. So if I get more people, then I could have a team like Jaylyn. And then I started just sharing like PD nuggets, stuff that I was reading. I read No Limits from John Maxwell, and that was one of my favorite books of all time. And it turned into a coloring book. Every day I was sharing highlights, and all of a sudden everybody in the team started reading the same book as me. And then I read 5 Second Rule, and everybody in the team read 5 Second Rule. And it turned into this, I do this, they do this. Dude, I have a team. It's not my team, but it is my team because it's my upline's team. And so then so this all happened very end of September. She kind of was coming back, things were getting a little bit better. And all of a sudden in January, girls all started waking up, and they were all like, we should push for 10-star. We were 6-star at the time. And I'm under her husband, technically. I don't even count as one of those stars. And I was like, dude, let's do it. Let's gun for 10-star. And Jalen was like, I don't know. I haven't recruited anything. Because I've been, and I'm like, no, we can do this. We can do this. And so we came into the threads and we friggin' did it. We jumped from 6-star in one qualification. 0 dropping, 0 hiccups, 0 stress. Everybody was solid by Sunday. And when she woke up as a 10-star, I was crying. When she walked across the stage of Summit as a 10-star, I was standing on my chair recording videos, screaming my lungs out, and lost my voice because I felt like I was a part of that. I dove in to my and started caring about the coaches in my team, not just my team, and the people that make volume off of, and the people who will get me elite points, and the people that I sign up. I started caring about other people. I started caring about more than just me and my sister coaches, and I started caring about Micah's coaches, and I started caring about are in my family, but I care about you guys. And the more that I started go giver and sharing invite wording or my story post I did, or a PD quote of whatever, the more sharing what I was doing, the more good things came back to me, because that's what the whole point of the National Wake Up Call is sharing what's working. Beachbody so awesome is when we share what's working, more good comes back to us, because we don't have to hoard it. We don't have to be the Dead Sea. We can be rivers and let things flow and share, because more will come into us when we let out. And that brought me coaches who, they didn't realize it, because my energy was super in tune with putting out good things and wanting to be a giver and caring about other people's teams. I got coaches who cared about me, who cared about my coaches, who cared about my team, because I put out an energy that I will give and I will share and that because Jalen and I talk about this all the time. And I'm I feel terrible saying that I'm so grateful Greg almost died, but I'm so grateful Greg almost died, because that changed so much for me. And it doesn't have, so I don't want anybody sitting here thinking that they hope their upline's husband dies, because that's not, no one do that. But you can share PDs, share if you have an invite that's working super well, or if you have a new follow-up wording, or if you started using TeamZ, or if you are falling in love with the app, or you are found a Lightroom filter, whatever, you can share that stuff, because the more you share, the more good things will come. Number 5, last one. I got super intentional. I had a brand new baby. I was helping Jalen with her threads. I also had a 4-year-old, and my husband worked out of town. I did not have time to work my business 95 hours a day. I had to be so freaking intentional. Morning, I almost called it morning meltdown. Miracle morning is a thing. I started waking up at 4:50 every day. When Emma was 8 days old is when I started doing that, and I have done it almost every day since. I wake up very early and get crap done in the morning, because nobody needs me at 5 a.m. and I can be selfish at 5 a.m. I can work my business at 5 a.m. Nobody needs me. My kids don't need me. My husband doesn't need me. Nobody needs me. I can work my business, and I can still be a good mom, and still be a good wife, and still be a good all the things, because nobody needs me at 5 a.m. Okay? Started getting crazy early. I upped my PD so freaking much because I had a mean girl. Remember, I said I had 75 things come out of my brain when Josh was like, so why can't you? Well, I'll tell you why, because I'm a mean girl. So 0 Netflix for almost a year, and made a goal to read 75 personal development books. They were all unique books. Some of them I did multiple times, like Miracle, You Are a Badass at Making Money, and 5 Second Rule, all the ones that I've mentioned, and No Limits, all the ones I've mentioned over and over. I've read some of those books 10, 15 times, but I read 75 books last year. And I don't think it's a coincidence that the year I went from, you know, before I was reading 8, 9 PD books a year to reading 75 PD books, that my income like quintupled, and that I went from empty to elite. I went from barely hitting SC6 to hitting SC50. Like, none of that is a coincidence, because my energy and my frequency, and it's not hurting me to cut out Netflix, because Netflix is still there. Now, if I want to slow down on my business, then I feel like I'm at a place I want to not maintain, because you never maintain, but if I don't want to gas it as much, Netflix there. But guess what? I still want to gas it, because I have people out there that I want to help, and I'm willing to give up Netflix to grow a life for my family that they deserve. Okay, I'm still in number 5, but there's like all these little bulletities. I got super good at my power hour. Josh Coates has the best power hour in the world. 20 connections, 10 invites, add to your network. I add on Instagram, and I do 40 follow-ups on Fridays. I can do that in 20 minutes, not the follow-up part. Follow-up part takes me a teeny bit longer, but I can do 20 connections, 10 invites, add 50 people to my network in 20 minutes. Because is there more perfect, polished ways to do it? Yes, but I was the coach, never did it, and doing something in 20 minutes was better than me trying to be perfect and never doing it at all. So I got like, do not go to bed till my power hour is done. I do not go to bed till my power hour is done. 10 invites every single freaking day. I still only send invites to hit Success Club 60. I still only do 20 connections, and you always should do double the amount of connections that you're doing on invites. So if you want to be like balls to the walls and do like 50 and go for it, you better be doing 100 connections, because people need to know you care about them as a person, because you want their money. And not that we want their money, you know what I mean? But you do double the connections than you do the invites. And I can expand my network. I can have 50 people in like 60 seconds on Instagram. Like, it doesn't take that long when you're not overthinking it. And I just super stopped overthinking it and started trying to focus. I made it a game to see how fast I could do it. And then when I had more time, I would come back and obviously had to like clean out my messages and interact with my notifications. And then if I had extra time, because my baby was still asleep and my oldest was still at preschool, I would do more connections and did more invites, because I hate invites. But like, I don't do anything magical. I just do it every day. 20 connections, 10 invites, 5 days a week, no matter what. 20 connections, 10 invites, every day. I turned off my messenger notifications. So when if someone needs me, I don't know unless I go in and decide I want to see that they need me. My phone doesn't light up when someone does anything on Facebook or my challenge tracker app. I have to choose to go in there, because I was constantly putting my phone in my hand, and that's not good for me and my sanity. So all my notifications are off. I intentionally unplug Jennifer knows this, because when we were talking about this call, only one night call a month. I don't even do night calls with my team. And so when I'm asked to guest speak for other teams, I do one, because the rest of the time, 5 o'clock comes and my phone is in another room. And I'm unplugged and present with my family. When my husband comes home, we spend time together as a family. We eat dinner. We do whatever. We put the kids to bed, and my husband and I get time together. I do not look at my phone. Like, I don't work at night, which means I have to be really intentional when I wake up in the morning. Baby's napping in the pockets of my mom life when I'm doing stuff. So I intentionally unplug, just like you intentionally have time that you decide you're going to work your business, or intentionally you're going to do your workout, or intentionally you're going to wake up. I intentionally have time that I am a wife, that I am a mom, because those things are important to me too. And the cruise reminded me hardcore how much better I am and how much my energy is like on fire when I put myself and my marriage and my kids, like, not first, but you know what I mean. When I'm not like burning the candle at both ends, and I'm always working, and I'm always plugged in, and I'm always trying to reply to messages, and that my kids are needing me, and I'm just going to try to ignore them because I'm trying to do, like, when I have designated, okay, baby's asleep, I'm going to get through an hour, and I'm going to get as fast as I can. Okay, my husband's home, I'm done for the night. I guess tomorrow I better be more intentional, because I didn't get anything done that I wanted to. And the only exception to that is like the last day of the month, when I'm trying to help my team do the last day of the month hustle. My husband knows that like no laundry will happen, and we're getting takeout because I'm trying to help my team. But other than that, I'm very, like, I intentionally unplug at night. I think I was going to say one more. Oh, and I started really tracking what I was doing. I never tracked my connections or my invites, and I never tracked who was asking for information. So when Josh wanted us to do 40 follow-ups, I was like, how the freak am I supposed to do that? I don't know who wants information. Like, I don't know. So I started using Teamsy. There's Google Streak, there's Asana, there's Excel sheets, there's paper. You do whatever works for you. Just keep track of the people who are reaching out and asking for information so that you can follow up with them, so that if they say not right now because they're pregnant or they just had a car accident or check in with me when I get paid on the last day of the month, you remember them. Because I was that person who never wanted to follow up with people because that's salesy and icky and weird. And now the number one thing I hear when I follow up is someone saying, thank you for not forgetting about me. And I'm so glad that means a lot to me that you remembered, yes, I am ready, or no, I'm not ready yet, but the second I am going to come to you because you didn't forget about me. And that only comes because I started keeping track of my people. So I do my 20 connections and 10 invites. I fill out the business activity tracker from Beachbody, that's system, you know what I'm talking about. I do that one, and then I track the names of people who want information in Teamsy because it has pop-ups. So it will make a list for me every day of who Teamsy thinks I need to talk to, and my brain needs that. My brain needs, like, tell me what to do, I will do it. Okay, check mark, done. My brain needs that. So Teamsy works super well for my brain, but I think Teamsy is for everybody. So if you've tried Teamsy and you hate it, awesome. But find a way to track your people. Okay, that's everything I have. Read the comments because I totally have ignored.
That was fabulous. And I feel really honored to get your one call a month, your one nighttime call a month. And I feel I do Monday night calls, but my kids know, like, Monday nights is I do a team call, and they know that mommy goes downstairs at 9. Like, there's no extra snuggles, there's no extra drinks, there's no extra anything. And like tonight, my 5-year-old, oh, it's Monday, I forgot. Okay, they get it. But I loved all of that, and I can see why your energy is like, you're attracting other business builders because your energy is through the roof. Most of the comments were like, you're on fire, your energy is amazing. I know there was one question I just saw. Someone asked if your business is only IG or primarily IG.
So right now I'm probably 80% IG, 20% Facebook. But a year, 18 months, I was 100% Facebook and trying Instagram, but sucking at it. And stories are my thing. That is where all my people come from, is stories. So that shift kind of slowly started happening, that I was like, oh my gosh, somebody from stories asked for information. This is awesome. And now it's more, I like post on Facebook as an afterthought because my brain is all about remembering to post in my stories because I know that's where my people come from. So
I'm curious, with not working in the evening, do you not do like stories after 5 p.m. then either?
So I'll do stories, but they're all the family. I talk about it in my stories too. I talk about, like, I'm done for the night. If you're waiting for a message from me, it'll be tomorrow. And now I'm going to be with my family. And then I show we're going on a walk, we're having dinner, we're playing wheeling, we're like whatever. As long as my husband and I are watching Grey's Anatomy, like whatever we're doing. So that, and I do the same thing on Sundays. I talk a lot about how I don't work on Sundays because I'm spending time with my family. And so it's to the point now that people message me, and the message will start by saying, I know you're not going to reply to this till tomorrow, but I wanted to message you so I don't forget. I'm ready to sign up, or I want to change I want whatever. But they all know it helped a lot because people, and I feel like that's almost helped me find builders.
Sure.
Because people don't feel like I'm always working, that they see like, dude, she really does treat this like a business. Like, she has hours, and I talk about when I'm working my business and when I'm not.
That is still something, I'll be honest, I struggle with, is not like being intentional with unplugged time. And it's like one of my goal boards hangs on my wall, has all these things, and periodically my husband will be like, how you doing with that one? How are you with that one there that says no phone? I think it's no phone 5 to 8. he'll know what it is because he points it out. That I admire that. I think that is really great, and I think that if you're public about it, not much more likely to really stick to it. Like, you can't say I'm not working and then go respond to a message. Like, it makes you stay true to that. I really like that. Teamsy is, I've never used Teamsy. Someone just asked what Teamsy is, but it's a tracking. It's a CRM system to track your customers. I use Streak. I think they kind of have the same general purpose, but they're different platforms. Do you track only when you invite or connections too?
So I don't track my connections, and I don't track invites either. I type them into Teamsy unless they say yes. So if my initial invite, someone like who's watching my stories, because like I said, stories are my jam, that's who I invite. So if they're watching my stories, they've invited themselves into my life. I had their fair game to invite, even if I've never talked to them before. So because it's not a cold invite, because of my stories, and they know what I'm about because I talk about it every day. So my invite says something about like, I really need the support. It can be hard to be vulnerable, but it makes it a lot easier when I have rock star people in my life. So thank you. Were you interested in learning more about my nutrition plan, live workouts, portion control, coaching, whatever, insert thing right here? Or were you just being an awesome cheerleader? Either way, I see you and appreciate you, so thank you. And then there's like the guy doing this emoji and the unicorn and the salsa girl and like all the emojis that I use in my stories. So it sounds like something that I would say, and 9 times out of 10, they reply back and they're like, no, but I love watching your stories and I think you're awesome. But then guess what? When I do a poll asking or I do a swipe up, guess who's filling it out? It's always the people I talked to 2 or 3 months ago. You don't plant the seed and eat the fruit on the same day. Plant the seed so that you can eat later. It's very rare that I send someone an invite and they sign up that day. That happens like 1 in 1,000. It takes a lot of like, it's the seed, it takes watering and sunshine and doing the loving nourishing of the plant before fruit grows. So I just got off on a weird tangent. But if they message back and they're like, yes, I actually am curious, coaching, portion control, whatever, they go into Teamsy. But if they are like, no, but I don't put those people in Teamsy because they said no. I don't need to follow up with them. They said no. If they're still watching my 4 months from now, 5 months from now, they get another one. Hey girl, I know you're still watching my stories. Are you ready to come do this with me yet? Or do you still just want to be a cheerleader? So that they know, like, anyway.
I like that. I do something similar. And don't know, you can flag IG people, like in your messenger. So like I do that. Like, so I'm the same. I don't write it down unless they, like I'll say all out in bulk, and then whoever actually wants to have a conversation might get their name written down. But there's a flag. And yes, it does only, I think it saves, it's like 30 days, your last 30 days of conversation or something. It doesn't last forever. But if you're doing follow-ups regularly enough through IG, they'll still show up in your last 30 days of conversation. So it does have a limit on it. Joy said that it's, it only tracks some info, but I use that flag a lot too. If I'm not, like if I am on my phone and you can flag something, and then if you're back adding it to Teamsy or Streak or your notebook or whatever, that'll be your reminder to kind of go back.
That saved my butt on the cruise.
Yeah.
Because I did not have Teamsy pulled up. So every time someone would message me, I would just go in and flag it. So that today I went through and cleared out all the flags to plug them into Teamsy. So that flagging feature is incredible.
I agree. Well, that was wonderful. I think those are all the questions. Anyone else have any other questions? I really appreciate you giving us your time this evening.
Of course.
Best energy. I love it.
Energize is a thing. I haven't had it in a couple hours, but I don't know that I burned it all off with today's workout. So energize is a thing.
Well, thank you. I know that everyone's comments, if you haven't scrolled through them, you were a hit, and we really appreciate you taking the time to share with us tonight.
You're so welcome. Such an honor. Seriously.
Right. Well, thank you very much. We'll get this recording up to the team pages soon, and you guys all should be finding your why, writing it down, doing your positive affirmations, discovering limiting beliefs, knocking them down. I think she gave us enough to-dos to keep us busy for sure. Thank you so much, Ashley. Bye, guys.